Good evening, viewers. We welcome you to today's news bulletin. First, let's take a look at the headlines. BJP retains power in 4 states as AAP sweeps Punjab. Meghalaya BJP dismisses EVM allegations. Amidst discussions on medical colleges in the state, BJP state president points to solution provided by the central government. Former IAS officer Peter Khar appointed as HNLC interlocutor. And Meghalaya Minister in charge Power President Tingsong says MEECL needs loans to cover capital costs and power purchases. The BJP has retained power in Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Goa and Manipur, while Aam Aadmi Party has swept Punjab Assembly polls. In Manipur, BJP has secured a majority by winning 32 seats in the 60-member assembly. It has received 37.83% of votes. The National People's Party got 7 seats with 17.29% of polled votes, but looks unlikely to be part of the government in Manipur. Taking a jibe at the allegations of the opposition, Meghalaya State BJP President Ernest Mauri said today that whenever the BJP wins, the EVM malfunction gets in the headlines. At the same time, while congratulating the Chief Minister Biren Singh for the BJP's victory in Manipur, Mauri expressed the hope that the BJP is forming the government in Manipur and said that further strategies will be discussed in a meeting with the party high command.
Biren Singh ji, he has got the majority and we are forming the government there. So I think by today evening, the party high command with the in charge of the Manipur state, they will decide.
Today, the victory of the BJP in 4 states, that is in UP, Goa, Uttarakhand and Manipur, is a grand victory of the BJP. So I congratulate our tallest leader, Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji.
Meghalaya State BJP President Ernest Mauri said students and their parents who have returned to the state after leaving their medical studies midway due to the Ukraine-Russian war can breathe a sigh of relief. Despite failure to start the pending medical college in the state, Mauri pointed to the central government's decision to enable students to study in private colleges under government college rates. As per the decision taken, half the seats of the private medical colleges will charge the fee the same as the government colleges. Hence now, students do not need to go abroad as they can complete their medical studies in the country itself, said the BJP chief.
Around 25 students, they went abroad and study in Ukraine. And I have met some of the students, they have come back to India and to our state. Some of them, they met me personally and highlight about the problem they are facing. Some of the students, 4 of them, they are on the final. So it is very difficult for them to go back to Ukraine and appear the exam. As you know, the flight fare also is very high and staying arrangement also is problem. So now with this big announcement, it'll be benefit our state, Meghalaya, especially for those medical students studying outside our state, outside our country.
The Meghalaya government has appointed former Deputy Commissioner of East Khasi Hills District, Peter S. Khar, as interlocutor from the state for facilitating peace talks with the banned militant outfit HNLC. Retired IPS A.K. Mishra will help coordinate between the centre and state government for the peace talk process. It may be mentioned that on February 9th, the HNLC had sent its official communication to the state government, reiterating its readiness for peace dialogue without any preconditions. On February 17, 2022, Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma had met the Union Home Secretary in New Delhi to discuss the steps and process to take forward the peace talks offered by the Khasi militant outfit. Meghalaya Deputy Chief Minister and Minister in charge Power Preston Tingsong has said that the reason that MEECL has to be burdened with loans from the government from time to time is to cover capital costs for project implementation and working capital loans for power purchase and other expenditure. Replying to another query on the reason the MEECL is using a payment gateway that charges extra amount from the customer on online payment of bills, he clarified that MEPDCL pays the transaction charges and commission of the payment gateway while the consumer only pays the charges levied by the bank with which the consumer is banking.
Soil loan is taken to cover capital cost for project implementation and working capital loan for power purchase and other expenditure. We are not at all self-sufficient to support all the day-to-day requirement of the corporation. That's why sometimes we are compelled to even take loan from open markets.
The villagers of Paham Maulin and Narang village, along with a pressure group, organized a sit-in demonstration and demanded a complete black topping of the way bridges at the road in Narang. The villagers demand the government to shut down the way bridges if the road is not repaired with black topping on the entire road from National Highway towards Way Bridge. After a round of strong argumentation between the district administration with the protesters, the former promised to solve this problem within 10 days and requested the villagers to stop the protest.
Kilong kini sim karai tang kawai badai ban sna be ya kanega surak ban the ya ka ban rai be ban sna ya kanega surak ban siang da rong lem da punta ni musya ban li ya kanega get bat ya kanega ban rung ka kali na kalian jungi nilap sibun ka jing bat ka ying kisam jungi ba ni that jan dum long khatam ki badon kunret tang su that ki jan di bali kila sau wat dikun ki bali school ki mi da ying kila mi bat in ko me Poin bat poya school kila adat ta kajing pumpum bat kila yo ro kajing biyong kli jong kia school.
Meghalaya Pradesh Congress Committee yesterday said the focus of the government is on borrowings rather than internal generation of funds. The party said that the fundamental macroeconomics of the state, as one would deduce from the budget, raises many red flags. The fiscal deficit itself has gone up to Rs 1,849 crores from Rs 1,570 crores in the previous year. Further, the Congress also pointed out that there seems to be a trend that the loans procured are from more expensive sources like HUDCO, which are more expensive when compared to the soft loans available. Commenting further on the budget, the party says it fails to address the issues of unemployment and employment generation and in providing sustainable opportunities for the people. As the conflict between Russia and Ukraine rages on, Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that the sanctions on Russia will disrupt global food and energy markets. He said Western sanctions on Moscow have begun to hurt the United States and Europe. Blaming the West for skyrocketing energy prices, Putin said Russia continues to export oil and gas through conflict-torn Ukraine. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization advised Ukraine to destroy any dangerous pathogens being kept in research laboratories to prevent any potential spills that could harm the public amid the conflict with Russia. Biosecurity experts feared that bombardment on Ukrainian cities have raised the risk of an escape of disease-causing pathogens should any of those facilities be damaged. And now for the weather report. The maximum temperature recorded in the city was 24.4 degrees Celsius and the minimum temperature was 13.4 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity in the morning was 52% while it was 47% in the evening. And the forecast says that the weather is most likely to remain dry. This is a reminder that our news bulletin is also available live on our YouTube channel. In addition to watching on television, viewers may visit the DD News Shillong YouTube channel to tune in to our daily bulletin. And before we wind up, here's the headlines once again. BJP retains power in 4 states as AAP sweeps Punjab. Meghalaya BJP dismisses EVM allegations. Amidst discussions on medical colleges in the state, BJP state president points to solution provided by the central government. Former IAS officer Peter Dakar appointed as HNLC interlocutor. And Meghalaya Minister in charge Power Preston Tingtong says MEECL needs loans to cover capital costs and power purchases. And with that, we've come to the end of today's edition of the News Bulletin. Do join us back tomorrow at the same time. Good night.